should be on. Yes, we should be on. Where is my Twitter? That's all I need. Put that here. New window. Where is my Twitter? Here. Should be on. And that page should not be there. Should be this one. Unless. Let's get out of here. Minimize that. The page can stay. Oh, hopefully this is a lot better. Okay, let's get rid of this. Cool. We'll come back here. I don't know what the fuck. What's going on? Okay. Okay, well, I don't want, okay, well then what I want here is get rid of that, put that here. New window. Cool. And then that's going to be my Twitter. This one, get over there. Window capture. There we go. Perfect. All right. Well, we're on. That was so hard. Man, that was so hard. Okay. Let me just go in here, test. It should all be up and running now. Come that one there, perfect. All right, I'm just going for it. Let me go. Let's just do a sound test.
Could very well happen, but I think...
Good, we're on. Perfect, let's get rid of this. I should say that I'm live on my own channel. I don't know why. Perfect. Well, I'll be damned. That was just the worst. I have been going at this. What's the time? For 1 straight hour. Man, so many warnings and everything. Anyway, we're doing it. We're here. We're back. Oh my God. So, this week on X, we're just going to keep it sweet. I'm just going to roll on in. I've had some time off, but, okay, it says that the connection is good. Like, fuck. All right. We'll say that we're live. So, we're live. Alrighty. This week on X, Jesus. Okay, where are we? We are over here. We're firing away. I've got this is quite wild with this whole P. Diddy stuff. I think the reason why I wanted to jump on over here was to, I think people better understand, what's happening, what's going on, what these people are all about. And I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's real, but there's been lots of people that have been talking about this type of stuff for a very long time, and now all of a sudden it's out. P. Diddy, human trafficker. So there is this video clip that I want to play, but there's this woman called Jaguar, and she keeps coming up. So I'm going to tell you who I believe. I'm going to play this clip with Jaguar first. And, again, this is a bit of a freestyle for myself tonight. And this is just a freestyle. So, I just wanted to make sure that we got up and running, the test work, and everything was fine. And it says there's pretty much no narrative behind anything of this. Like, there we go. Cool. Narrative behind anything of this. Like, there we go. Cool. Narrative behind anything of this. Like, there we go. Cool. This, fuck. Oh my God. This was just so hard to set up. It really was. I've just spent the last couple of days, and as anyone can see, as I flick through, it's just taking me so long. And then what was happening, I set the live for 7 p.m. tonight, and then I actually went live, and the resolution in the video software was just too powerful. It was like 5,000 megabytes per frame or something like that. So there was a delay. So I had to change the settings, switch it all off. And then when I did that, all of my, all of my screens were just too oversized. They had to re-shrink themselves back to like a 1080 at like an 1800 frame, like you got like 1080. So I had to reset it all up, and it just like took me so long, and I'm like, fuck. So I'm just going to do a quick little Instagram video to say that we are on. It worked. And And if anyone sees it, they can jump on over. So, so that took so long. Massive malfunction. I'm actually live now. I'm live now on YouTube. It took me an hour to set it all up, but we are on. So if anybody wants to jump on over, I think the link is in my bio, and yeah, we're on. But the link is in the bio. We are live now, and come have a chat. And I'm going to play some P Diddy videos, and just attach a bit of a narrative to it as well. So I think the link is in the bio. If not, you should be able to find it on the YouTube channel as being live. So that took so long. Perfect. Okay, we're on. Good. Man. Also too, like there's just so many different so this is so I'm running a Mac, and this is the first time I've ever used a Mac within the last week. My other computer laptop, it broke, it died. So I've been without a computer for so long. And so anyway, ran OBS, and OBS is a different system to where, you know, you put your individual, you know, things on. So say, for example, what have we got up here on the screen? You know, we got the game experience banner that's up there on the top. You know, a couple of these other little logos and stuff. Every single one of them is its own individual sort of piece to put on. And then, you know, here on this frame, you know, same again, camera, all these bits and pieces. And then as you come over here, so then now, since using Twitter or X, so X has, you need the desktop sound. So the desktop sound needs to pick up through OBS, but it actually doesn't have the feature to pick it out, to pick it up. So it's got to be able to record it. So I had no sound. The only sound was coming through the microphone. But
it's on the tapes. I believe Barack Obama got a tape.
Yeah, he playing high level.
I know Jennifer Lopez has multiple tapes.
Oh yeah. Oof.
I know Beyonce got a tape. I definitely know they probably recycled some old Stevie J and Eve stuff. I know Drake got a tape. I know Rihanna got a tape. I know Chris Brown's on one of them tapes. I know Trey Songz has been like a...
So this is Jaguar Wright listing the people on Freak Off tapes with Diddy.
Supporting actor.
And you know what? Like I'm just great, right? Because the music industry, I've done a video of this when I spoke with Birdbrain, but in the 90s and the 80s, gangster rap was actually a government inserted piece into the African American communities. The CIA infiltrated the rap culture, and what they wanted was more, I'm going to use the word crime, but they wanted more crime on the streets, because in America, the prison systems are privatized. So if everyone was good, the people that invested in the privatized prison system wouldn't make any money. So you need to have people in jail so that the people invested in the privatized prison system can make money. So the CIA infiltrated the rap industry, and there's talks that the American government or parts of the CIA or whoever, whatever, created gangster rap intentionally. So when you sort of see, you know, the divide, the hate, all the shit in the world, you know, I mean, for me, I've only started to understand things around frequency and energy over the last 5 years. And 6 years ago, 7 years ago, if someone was to talk to me about energy and frequency and about hertz, like I wouldn't even listen to the person. But today I understand it and I get it. I get that through different hertz, you know, you can lure in something. Spirit, entities, some form of darkness, whatever. Right? We can all get hijacked by different sounds of music. You know, it's in our DNA. Our DNA ignites when a familiar sound triggers it. So there's certain tones and types of the music industry, or I'll say that a bit differently. Certain rappers rap a certain way that I just don't vibe with it, and I don't like it. So I just don't like the darkness, you know. And I think that we need to shift to something more positive. And yeah, there is cool, awesome, you know, gangster rap, but there's some darkness to it as well, which I don't know. It's almost weird. I don't want to say that ever since they started fucking with CERN, ever since they started fucking with CERN, things changed. You know, 50 Cent and all these other rappers, it was cool, but something's changed. So, in saying that, you know, I wouldn't mind if a lot of these dark art type of musician would be taken out.
Mini freak off film. Definitely Usher. I think what would shock people are the politicians, and the royals that were on that tape. And I'm still trying to figure out when Harry and Meghan are going to be honest about their freak off tape. Yeah. I don't think anybody really wants to talk about the fact.
Okay, so I'm going to get into this actual one clip, and then I'm going to finish it off with some Kim Clement. Whatever spiritual stronghold that is over the nation will come to an end. But there is actually, I think it goes. All right, this is a very good clip, but I'm gonna come to I'm gonna come to that one last. There was a main one. Where is it? It's pretty much the only one I was gonna play. And then I'll probably just call it a night, I think. Oh, Matt's up. How are you, bro? What's good? How's the sound? How's the sound? So where is, I've got it here. It's all mixed up. So basically the whole idea here is I've got this swoosh night. The whole idea is this week on Twitter is going to be based around me just retweeting the things that I want to discuss or talk about and play. So my X is just going to be based around just me retweeting stuff, and then, you know, once a week I'm just going to jump on and just talk about it, and more talk about it in a way of just not connecting, like I did say attaching a sense of a narrative towards it, but more to like allowing people to see exactly what's, you know. Oh, good. Works better. That's an awesome clip there. We have bit of a delay here. Can I get rid of this? I'm not going on that, so let's get rid of this. Perfect. Me and Matt are going for a run tomorrow morning. See you at 7, I think. See you at 7. What's going on here? Why? Right. I think it was probably.
Against Usher, it'll.
That's a good one. I'm going to play that at the end. But that's basically. It was speaking about all logged in. Yeah, good stuff. I hope your shoes. Did your shoes turn up or not? Is this it? Oh, this is it. Actually, it goes for 22 minutes. Okay.
At that time, where did you work?
For Michael Jackson, sir.
And what did you do for
Okay.
Michael Jackson?
All right. So basically, this is what this retweet was all about. This retweet was all about the connection of P. Diddy and Michael Jackson and whether P. Diddy has something to do with Michael Jackson's death. So I wanted to play this clip.
In June 2009.
I worked security for him, security.
Michael Jackson was involved with P. Diddy, and the footage that has leaked is startling. Kanye West claims P. Diddy was the real reason behind Michael Jackson's tragic death. These claims have resurfaced, stirring the pot of long-standing conspiracy theories surrounding the music industry. The revival of this controversy coincides with a new lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, reigniting questions about the hidden forces at play in the music world. The connection between Diddy and Michael Jackson might seem tenuous at first glance, but as we dive deeper into the story, you'll find a web of relationships and incidents that suggest something far more sinister than what initially meets the eye. We will be revealing alleged startling footage of Michael Jackson and P. Diddy in this video. But first we need to take a look at the mysterious death of Michael Jackson. Let's begin by revisiting the puzzling circumstances surrounding Michael Jackson's untimely death on June 25, 2009. Michael, known as the King of Pop, was found unconscious in his Los Angeles mansion. His personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, was at the scene. But what unfolded that day has since been the subject of endless speculation and investigation. The night before, on June 24, 2009, Dr. Murray administered a mixture of medications to help Jackson sleep. Despite his best efforts, Michael remained awake. In the early morning hours of June 25th, Dr. Murray resorted to administering propofol, a potent anesthetic that is usually reserved for use in surgical settings. This was a risky and unconventional decision, as propofol requires careful monitoring and equipment not typically available outside of a hospital. Dr. Murray claims that this finally put Michael to sleep. However, when Murray left the room for a short bathroom break, he returned to find Michael unresponsive with a faint pulse. Murray attempted to revive Jackson by performing CPR for about 10 minutes and administering flumazenol, a drug used to counteract the effects of sedatives. Oddly, however, a 911 call was not placed until 12:21 p.m., almost an hour and a half after Jackson was found unconscious. This delay has been a major point of contention and suspicion. Paramedics arrived and continued CPR for an additional 42 minutes before transporting Michael to the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center. Despite their efforts, Michael Jackson was pronounced dead at 2:26 p.m. The official autopsy report cited acute propofol intoxication as the cause of death, ruling it a homicide. This immediately put Dr. Murray in the spotlight as the person responsible. Investigations revealed that Dr. Murray had used a non-standard CPR technique and that he had kept a stash of propofol in Michael's home, actions that were deemed highly unprofessional. Consequently, Dr. Murray was charged with involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 4 years in prison. Yet despite this conviction, many of Michael Jackson's fans and some of his family members have remained convinced that Murray was merely a pawn in a much larger, more complex scheme designed to silence the pop star permanently. Michael Jackson's feud with the music industry and Diddy. To fully understand why so many people believe Michael Jackson's death was not a simple case of medical malpractice, we need to explore his contentious relationship with the music industry, particularly Sony Music and its then CEO, Tommy Mottola. Michael was not just a talented musician, but also a savvy businessman. In the 1980s, he acquired a significant portion of Sony's music catalog, which included the rights to songs by artists like the Beatles. This acquisition was an unprecedented move for an artist, giving Michael enormous power.
So through the week, I'd done a video on my Instagram about how, just about how the Illuminati take out some of these artists when they get into their 50s, and how a lot of these artists, and they speak about, I sold my soul, and, they literally say it out of their own mouth. But I remember once I spoke to somebody that is in the space of Hollywood, and I spoke to him about the Illuminati, and he said that a lot of these people, they will flip off these gestures, or they'll do certain things unaware or unknowingly doing them. Or like if they're doing these symbols for their handlers, that they actually don't even know what they're really doing, and they're just actually doing it. So there's a bit of mistaken symbols, but there's also two intentional symbols. But it feels like, the last 2 years, I think it's pretty clear that a lot more of this satanic referencing has been coming out more often, and people are seeing it, and it's literally right in your face. It's like it's literally right there. So when you speak up about these things, that your life is at risk. And Michael Jackson, I think there was an audio call where he was saying to LaToya, they're coming to get me, or they're trying to get me. And, back then you hear it, it's like, oh, man, he's like fucking cuckoo. So look at Robin Williams, look at Prince, look at Michael Jackson. They're over the age of 50. But I heard this thing, this is what I was talking about, was that in their contracts, that sometimes they're worth more dead in the insurance contract than them being alive. So, is it by chance that they get taken out because their insurance contract is worth more than them being alive?
And leverage within the industry. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, Michael was openly feuding with Sony. He accused the company of exploiting artists and suppressing his own music. He even took to the streets, holding protests against Sony, and famously called Mottola the devil. In one of his speeches, he said, "I've generated several $1 billion for Sony. They thought that my mind was always on music and dancing, but they never imagined that I would outthink them. I own half of Sony's publishing, and now I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it." Jackson's bold moves and confrontational stance against one of the most powerful entities in the music industry made him a target, according to his family and fans. His sister, LaToya Jackson, has repeatedly claimed that Michael's valuable music catalog was the motive for his murder. In her words, Michael knew someone was after him. He knew that everything that was happening to him was not kosher. It wasn't right, and it disturbed him greatly. The role of AEG Live in Dr. Murray's suspicious hiring. In the months leading up to his death, Michael Jackson was preparing for his This Is It tour, which was meant to be his grand comeback. The tour was being organized by AEG Live, one of the world's leading entertainment companies. It was AEG Live that brought Dr. Conrad Murray onto Michael's team in May 2009. While AEG claimed that Michael personally requested Dr. Murray, It later surfaced that AIEG had independently hired him, and Michael never signed the employment contract. This revelation added another layer of suspicion, leading many to question whether Michael had any real control over the situation, or if he was being manipulated by powerful forces within the industry. The Jackson family subsequently sued AEG Live, arguing that the company had negligently hired Dr. Murray and pushed Michael to the brink. During the trial, Michael's son, Prince, testified that his father was under immense pressure, and he often heard him say, "They're going to kill me." Despite this compelling testimony, the jury ultimately ruled in favor of AEG Live, stating that they were not responsible for Michael's death. However, this verdict did little to convince Michael's supporters, who believed that a broader conspiracy was at play. Kanye West and Harley Pasternak, a parallel story. The recent resurgence of these theories can be attributed in large part to Kanye West, who has been remarkably candid about his own troubling experiences with Hollywood and the broader music industry. Kanye shocked the world when he disclosed that his former personal trainer, Harley Pasternak, attempted to have him institutionalized. At the time, Kanye's claims were largely dismissed by the public and the media, with many attributing his statements to another episode of what was perceived as his erratic behavior. However, this narrative took a dramatic turn when it was later uncovered that Harley Pasternak had a rather unexpected background. He was a former intelligence agent for the Canadian military. This revelation changed the context of Kanye's story entirely, prompting a widespread reevaluation of the situation. Suddenly, what many had dismissed as the paranoid delusions of a troubled celebrity started to seem more like a cautionary tale of control and manipulation, possibly orchestrated by hidden forces operating behind the scenes of the entertainment industry. Kanye's revelations opened the floodgates for discussions about so-called handlers within the entertainment world. These are individuals who, according to various theories, are strategically placed in the lives of celebrities to monitor, control, and influence them. The idea is that these handlers work on behalf of powerful and secretive organizations with vested interests in maintaining the status quo and suppressing dissent or controversy. The notion that Hollywood and the music industry might harbor such operatives has long been a topic of speculation, but Kanye's story gave this idea a new level of credibility. It suggested that these handlers were not just conspiracy theory fodder, but could very well be real players in a complex power dynamic. In Kanye's case, he insinuated that Pasternak's role in his life was not merely that of a personal trainer, but someone tasked with ensuring Kanye's compliance with certain industry expectations. He implied that when he resisted, Pasternak's response was to threaten institutionalization, a move that could effectively silence him by labeling him as mentally unstable. Kanye has gone as far as to suggest that had he complied with Pasternak's demands, his fate might have eerily mirrored that of Michael Jackson's. This raises a chilling implication that there may be powerful entities within the industry capable of permanently silencing those who become too outspoken, too independent, or too disruptive to the interests of those who hold power. Kanye's situation, particularly in light of Pasternak's intelligence background, has led many to consider that he might have been at risk of being handled in a very deliberate and calculated manner. The sudden reframing of Kanye's experiences opened up a broader conversation about how certain celebrities seem to follow a pattern of reaching a pinnacle of success, only to suddenly spiral into public breakdowns, legal troubles, or even untimely deaths. It has caused a segment of the public to revisit past incidents with new eyes, wondering if there might be more to these stories than what was initially reported. Could Kanye have narrowly avoided the fate that befell Michael Jackson, who, towards the end of his life, was increasingly vocal about feeling targeted and fearing for his safety? By speaking out, Kanye may have lifted the veil on a shadowy aspect of the entertainment industry, one that involves surveillance, control, and, in some cases, the permanent silencing of those who refuse to fall in line. This idea resonates with the recurring theme that has haunted Hollywood for decades: the notion that fame comes with a price, and for some, that price might be their freedom, their sanity, or even their lives. The Kanye West Harley Pasternak incident thus serves as a modern-day echo of the suspicions surrounding Michael Jackson's demise, suggesting that these are not isolated events, but rather parts of a larger, more complex narrative about power and control in the entertainment industry. Enter Fahim Muhammad, the enigmatic security chief. This brings us to Fahim Muhammad, a figure whose name has been brought to light in the recent lawsuit against Diddy filed by producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. Fahim Muhammad was Diddy's chief of security, but his connections extend far beyond Diddy's inner circle. According to Lil Rod's lawsuit, Fahim acted as a crucial link between Diddy and law enforcement, helping Diddy run what Lil Rod described as a criminal enterprise without interference from the authorities. The lawsuit states Mr. Jones made it clear that his head of security, Fahim Muhammad, had the power to make people and problems disappear. But here's where things take a darker turn. Fahim Muhammad was also Michael Jackson's head of security at the time of his death. Fahim testified during Dr. Murray's trial, revealing that he was hired as Michael's chief of security just 10 months before Michael's death. At the time of his hiring, Fahim was only 20 or 21 years old and had just graduated from Sacramento State University with a degree in business administration. This raises a critical question. Why would the king of pop, a global superstar who had faced numerous threats and controversies throughout his career, entrust his security to a young and seemingly inexperienced individual? Social media investigator Ian Carroll, who has been researching the connections between Diddy, Fahim Muhammad, and Michael Jackson, suggests that someone else might have orchestrated Fahim's appointment. For most of Michael Jackson's career, his head of security was Bill Bray, a trusted confidant and father figure to Michael. Bill Bray managed Jackson's security until his retirement at age 70, and Michael continued to support him financially until his death. After Bray retired, other security personnel came and went, and Michael eventually ended up with Fahim Muhammad, a man with direct ties to Diddy and a reputation for making problems disappear. Fahim Muhammad's possible ties to intelligence agencies. Digging deeper into Fahim's background, Ian Carroll uncovered more unsettling information. Fahim was invited as a speaker at the Wharton School, an institution frequently associated with individuals linked to intelligence agencies such as the CIA and FBI. While this could be seen as a mere coincidence, it raises eyebrows given Fahim's age and relatively limited experience. Why would an individual who had only recently graduated college be invited to speak at a prestigious institution like Wharton? Moreover, why was this individual put in charge of the security of the world's most famous musician during a time when he was arguably at his most vulnerable? Carroll's findings led to a wave of speculation on social media. Many now suspect that Fahim was more than just a security chief, that he might have been a handler, similar to what Kanye West described in his experiences with Harley Pasternak. One comment on Carroll's video pointed out another curious detail. 1. Other coincidence is that Tommy Mottola sold his home on Star Island, Miami Beach to P. Diddy. This connection between Mottola, Diddy, and Fahim further complicates the narrative, suggesting a network of relationships that could point to a coordinated effort to control or eliminate Michael Jackson. The bigger picture: celebrity control and industry power dynamics. The stories of Michael Jackson and Kanye West, while unique in their specifics, share common themes that have long been whispered about in the entertainment industry. These themes revolve around control, exploitation, and the lengths to which powerful entities will go to maintain their influence. Celebrities who amass not just fame, but also power, whether through ownership of valuable assets like Michael Jackson's music catalog, or through their ability to shape public opinion like Kanye West, seem to find themselves under increasing scrutiny and pressure from those who wish to control them. In Michael's case, his public feud with Sony and Tommy Mottola put him on a collision course with some of the industry's most powerful figures. His acquisition of half of Sony's music catalog was a bold move that not only granted him financial power, but also disrupted the status quo within the music industry. Michael's willingness to speak out against Sony, accuse them of exploitation, and challenge their practices made him a threat that needed to be neutralized, according to some theories. Kanye West's situation, though different in many respects, echoes the same underlying conflict. Kanye has never been one to shy away from speaking his mind, even when his opinions put him at odds with industry norms or the expectations of those around him. His outspoken nature, combined with his substantial influence and creative control, made him a target for those who prefer to keep high-profile figures within well-defined boundaries. Kanye's claims about Harley Pasternak and the subsequent revelation of Pasternak's intelligence background added a layer of credibility to the idea that powerful forces within the industry have mechanisms in place to control or silence those who defy them. The unsettling parallels and the implications for the music industry. Given the new details that have come to light, fans and conspiracy theorists alike are drawing unsettling parallels between the treatment of Michael Jackson and Kanye West. Both artists were vocal critics of the industry and expressed fears of being targeted or silenced. Michael Jackson's ominous notes, which were reportedly found in the weeks leading up to his death, included statements like, "They are trying to murder me," and "the system wants to kill me for my catalog." These notes, combined with his public accusations against Sony and Mottola, painted a picture of a man who felt he was under siege by forces far more powerful than any individual. Kanye West has similarly expressed fear for his life, suggesting that he too was targeted by powerful individuals within the industry. He hinted at being Michael Jackson, a term that has come to symbolize the silencing or elimination of an outspoken artist who poses a threat to the industry's established order. Was Michael Jackson silenced, and did Kanye West dodge a bullet? So, what are we left with after examining these events? We're faced with a narrative densely populated by shadowy figures, eerie coincidences, and a pattern of behavior that hints at a systematic effort to control or even eliminate individuals who challenge the established power structures of the entertainment industry. The involvement of Fahim Muhammad in Michael Jackson's final days, coupled with his subsequent role as Diddy's head of security, raises critical questions about his true role and the potentially powerful forces he represents. How did a young man with no prior high-level security experience find himself in such a position of influence within the lives of two of the music industry's most prominent figures? This situation is particularly unsettling when considering the context. Both Michael Jackson and Kanye West had openly criticized and defied the industry's established norms and practices. Could it be that Michael Jackson was silenced because he became a significant threat to the industry's status quo? After all, Michael was not just an artist. He was a vocal critic of industry practices and had taken substantial steps to assert his independence. By acquiring half of Sony's music catalog, he disrupted the industry's balance of power, and his subsequent public feud with Sony and its then CEO, Tommy Mottola, suggested that he was willing to fight the industry's most powerful entities. Michael's public statements, in which he accused the industry of exploiting artists and even went as far as calling Mottola the devil, were bold moves that could have made him a target. His death, officially attributed to acute propofol intoxication, did little to quell the suspicions of those who believed that something far more nefarious was at play. The fact that Fahim Muhammad was involved with Michael Jackson during this tumultuous period adds an additional layer of intrigue. Fahim's subsequent role as Diddy's head of security, with alleged connections to law enforcement and the ability to make people and problems disappear, according to the lawsuit filed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones, paints a picture of someone deeply embedded in the mechanisms of power. It begs the question, was Fahim merely a security professional doing his job, or was he part of a larger network tasked with maintaining order within the industry's upper echelons? Now let's consider Kanye West's experience. Like Michael, Kanye has been an outspoken critic of the music and entertainment industry. His vocal confrontations with the industry and his erratic public behavior have often been framed by the media as signs of mental instability. However, Kanye's revelations about Harley Pasternak, his former personal trainer with a background in military intelligence, have led many to reevaluate the narrative. If Kanye's claims are to be believed, Pasternak attempted to have him institutionalized, effectively silencing him and removing him from public discourse. Kanye insinuated that had he complied with Pasternak's demands, he might have faced a fate similar to Michael Jackson's, suggesting that there are forces within the industry willing to go to extreme lengths to protect their interests. The connections between these stories, while not providing concrete proof of a conspiracy, suggest a disturbing pattern that is difficult to dismiss as mere coincidence. Michael Jackson and Kanye West are not just isolated cases, but part of a larger narrative involving high-profile artists who have challenged the industry's power dynamics. Their stories raise fundamental questions about the lengths to which those in power may go to maintain their control. Is there a system in place designed to manage, manipulate, and, when necessary, eliminate those who threaten the industry's interests? In the end, the truth behind Michael Jackson's death and the broader implications for the music industry may never be fully revealed. What we do know is that the entertainment world is a complex and often opaque environment where power dynamics play out in ways that are not always visible to the public eye. The resurfacing of these theories, fueled by Kanye West's recent revelations in the new lawsuit against Diddy, serves as a reminder of the dark undercurrents that flow beneath the glittering surface of fame and success. As fans and observers, we are left to piece together the fragments of information that have emerged over the years, questioning the narratives presented to us and considering the possibility that the reality of these situations is far more complex and more sinister than we might have imagined. The story in the and as more details emerge, the public's curiosity and suspicion continue to grow. Share your thoughts in the comments.
Well, there you have it. That took so long to play.
Mr. Mohammed, I want to take your attention back to June.
Let's mute this. So, yeah, I just wanted to play that anyway because, I think this rabbit hole with P. Diddy just goes deeper than what, people really understand. And, I think it's, you don't just look at the death of Tupac, right? Like there's so many documentaries where there's like this mystery of did P. Diddy put the hit out, and there is a part of the storyline, right? But it just becomes silence and nobody speaks about it. Nobody questions the possibility. But it's weird, like, because it can be spoken about, but nobody actually stops and goes, well, let's question this further. Was P. Diddy responsible for the death of Tupac? And it's like, well, now it's like, well, of course he did. But even, I don't know, I remember probably 10 years ago, I remember I was speaking to somebody about this. It wasn't a mainstream documentary, but it was a documentary. And I was talking to them about how it come up, like this $1 million hit. I can't think of, there was the Death Row chain and there was a Crip and, obviously there was that incident at the, whatever that, the place in Vegas, MCG, MCM Grand or whatever. I don't know what that place was called, but, anyway, so yeah, so Diddy's done. Diddy's done. And, Justin Bieber's coming out, his music's changed, it's all about Jesus. Kanye's music's changed, all about Jesus. And all of these other people, they're still they're still promoting this satanic agenda. But look, I think that'll do. I think that'll do for tonight. The stream worked. Let's play this. Let's listen to what this guy's got to say.
Because they could have arrested him.
Oh yes. So this is a good one here too, just because of Kamala Harris and the connection of having a lot of the artistry, or I don't want to say black vote, but
arrest Puffy until recently, because they could have arrested him then, is they wanted to wait and save this for a time they needed to distract the black public away from something that they didn't need us getting involved in. The reason he got arrested now is because we're 6 weeks away from the presidential election, and Black America was tearing Kamala Harris's up looking for presidential accountability. They were all over Kamala Harris. She couldn't answer no questions. She didn't want to do no interviews. And so the power structure said, let's get him right now. We need something we can throw at Black America. We know they're emotional. We know they care more about hip hop than anything else in their community. Okay, what can we throw Black America to get them off of Kamala Harris's back? Let's throw them Puff. And if you notice, Art, ever since Kamala decided to seek the presidential nomination when Joe Biden stepped down, every conversation in Black Twitter, Black Facebook, Black Instagram, Black TikTok, Black YouTube, everything has been about what? The presidential election. Trump, Kamala, Kamala, Trump. That's all we've been talking about until they arrested Puff. Now go on Black Twitter. Now go on Black Instagram. Now go on Black YouTube. Nobody's talking about Kamala too much no more. Everybody's worried about Puff. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Distract Black America away from the presidential election by throwing them the Puffy lynching so we can get Kamala to the finish line.
Ooh, no, she
Let's see
ain't.
how long this one makes it for.
Are you ready? This is 153 pages of the confidential agreement between Moderna and the U.S. government. And it goes back to 2015.
All right, I'm not playing that. It's too conspiracy. All right, cool. I think that'll do. I think that'll do.
Listen to the word of the Lord. What do I have planned for September? What I'm about to tell you, says the Spirit, is not only for the land of Israel and the people of Israel, but this is for you, says the Lord. The tide is turning for Israel. The tide is turning for you. For you. A very strange thing shall happen in September. Moving into the fall where there shall be a great fall. Fall of the enemies, fall of kings, fall of princes. I shall do a strange thing in Egypt again. For even as David met an Egyptian who was the son of a Amalekite, who had been rejected because he was sick, David was about to go and take back what was stolen from him. David and his men were tired, and they came to an Egyptian, fed him, and he revealed to them where the enemy was. I shall use Egypt again. But God says for a season, I will reveal a strange thing. Some of those who have been enemies of Israel shall suddenly turn and change their tune for a season.
August 30, 2014.
And I will deliver, and I will bring friendship.
Kim
for a
Clement.
season. And many of the enemies that now stand shall be non-existent, says the Spirit of God. It shall take 2 years. 2 years. But watch how I bless Israel. Watch how the rain comes to America. Watch how the rain comes to my kingdom. Watch and see. For God says, beginning in September, I will turn everything around, and my people shall see an intervention of a kind that they have never seen before, says the Lord. The nations cry out, give us blood. But there is only one blood that speaks of better things than that of Abel. It is the blood of my son, and watch how it speaks this year, says the Lord. The leader of the nation, the greatest nation of the earth, prayed. When was this? We must stop him from saying the name Yeshua. We must stop him from saying the name Yeshua, Yeshua, Yeshua.
I think we've got another one of Kim Clement. I'll play that, and then I think that'll do. I think that'll do. I like Kim Clement, though it's a bit over the top. Where is he? Let's play another one, and then we'll call it a wrap, and then we'll be back here. I think as best I can 7:30 every Saturday night, and down the rabbit hole we go this week on X. Do we see any more Kim Clement? Here we go. Let's listen.
Has to be pulled down, and it cannot be pulled down by Joe Biden. It cannot be pulled down by the President of the United States. It cannot be pulled down by politicians. It can only be pulled down by the spiritual leaders that have set their heart towards the kingdom, not towards failure, but towards the kingdom, and said, now we will pray, and whatever spiritual stronghold is over our nation, it will come to an end. I am one of those voices, just one. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, Jesus said. Whatever you loose on earth will be. Give me that big key that's in my office. You have a key. I was going to tell you the names of God, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get straight into the spirit of Python and the spirit that has joined forces in order to try and bring this about, and it's happening and it's taking place right now. Daniel did not know that when he was praying and while he was fasting, that there was a fight going on in the heavenlies, and this is what the angel said to him. He said, Daniel, I have come from a battle for 21 days, that Daniel fasted and prayed for 21 days. And he said, I have come because of your words. In other words, your prayers released me from that warfare. Now I have to return, because the spirit of Greece has come to join the spirit of Persia in order to bring about a victory. Daniel, keep praying. Daniel, keep getting revelation, because out of that revelation will come a revolution. Out of your revelation will come a revolution. That's what we need in this nation. We need a divine revolution. We need a turnaround. We need young people to understand that God is exciting, that his kingdom rules and reigns, and there's not failure. There's no room for failure. Everybody's saying there's no room for failure. So what am I saying? I'm saying that while you're in captivity, you can give it to me, thanks. Thank you. While you're in captivity, you have a key. Compliments of Ed Monroe. Gave me this key. We have a key. Switch your phones, please. You have a key. That's my wife here. I knew it. I tell everybody, switch your phones when you're busy. We have a key. The key is prayer. But not regular, ordinary, needy prayer. It's prophetic prayer. What I am doing today is equipping you to join forces to pray not only for America, but for the nations that are under attack right now.
That's a wrap. Till next time. And I'll be here every Saturday, 7:30, as best I can be. Till next time.